Okay, so just let you know what book we're using for this topic. We call Way of the Bodhisattva Life, Shantideva text, and it's all the chapter. It has a 10 chapter, and then all the talking about how to cultivate awakening mind, or how to increase it, how to maintaining it, all those kind of topic. And then regarding that, and there are many different obscuration there, obstacle there, and then many different good quality there which we need to be cultivate, and there are many obscuration there which we have to abandon in order to cultivating awakening mind. Awakening mind, another word is great compassion. So, and then we began from chapter 4, which is the main the subject called the conscientiousness. And then it's more talking about the careful, right? The careful for you are anything that you need to abandon. You just be careful and watch it, and then abandon it. Anything you need to be cultivate, you should careful and cultivate it. So the every moment, more be careful to watch your the mind and then all the actions. That's kind of talking. So, and then this is, I think, third class that the chapter 4, and rest of the stanzas talking about the mental afflictions. So the mental affliction is what we believe is mental affliction is the main source of having all these negative intentions and negative actions. So sometimes it's called negative emotion, sometimes it's called disturbing emotion. So this is the same. And then rest of chapter divided into the 10 different meaning. So let me read those 10s are. So the first one must be careful to abandon this by reflecting on the fault of afflictions, right? The fault of afflictions. So it's like giving us to think why I have to abandon the mental afflictions, right? And then say, okay, think of the fault of mental afflictions that makes you feel that, oh yes, I have to abandon it. So therefore it talks about the fault of the mental afflictions. In order to talking about the fault of the mental afflictions, here say, be careful by recognizing that cannot be bearable to afflictions. So it's like a mental afflictions takes all your independence. It's kind of like a disturbing to your independence. Therefore, this is the one fault. To not taking your independence, right? And then it said, be careful by remembering that afflictions brings immeasurable suffering. That's the one of the fault. Be careful by contemplating that their harm continue without end. So the mental afflictions will harm you or brings you suffering endlessly until you have those, right? The same. And then be careful by understanding that afflictions are never be friends. You can be a friend with your enemy, but you cannot be a friend with the mental afflictions. There's a big difference. And then also continue saying here, it is essential to cultivate the strength of the mind in order to destroy mental afflictions. It is reasonable to endure hardship in abandoning mental afflictions, knowing they are the cause of one's own well-being. And here, so it is reasonable to endure the hardships in abandoning the mental afflictions, knowing they are the cause of the well-being of others. one should never fall under the power of afflictions. And then when the afflictions is one's own mind stream or are uprooted, they have no basis to remain. So, okay, so giving here a lot of different reasons. It will be continuous talks about that. But what I'm thinking is, in order to knowing that, it's good to know what is mental afflictions, right? And so there, in general, we are counting the 6 root mental afflictions and 20 secondary mental afflictions. The 20 secondaries are different phase of the 6 root mental afflictions, such as like attachment, right? So the attachment is the one of the mental affliction which is root to the wise root, because it brings you many different type of it arises many different type of mental afflictions. And then when you look at the secondary mental afflictions, the stinginess is the part, like one different phase of the attachment. It's not exactly attachment, it is the part of the attachment. So that's how we differentiate it between root of mental afflictions and secondary mental afflictions. They are like a totally 26, right? But we have more than that. All these 26 are negative emotion. It's emotion, but totally negative. And today, I like to talk about the 6 root mental afflictions, right? But before we know that, what is the general definition of the mental afflictions? And then here, saying the general definition of mental affliction is mental factor that disturb the mind stream of the individual in whose continuum it arises. It's a disturbing your mind continuously. The disturbing means like it's not a distracting it. So, good morning. Just distracting and disturbing is different. So what disturbing is, it's like always your mind stream are is kind of influencing or affected, that your mind streams become a negative. That's the disturbing. It's not let you think the positive. The disturbing to think positive, disturbing to having positive behavior and positive thoughts. That's how it is disturbed. So all the mental afflictions actually disturbing you to not let you change better. So that's the disturbing means. Is this clear? Okay. So now look at the one individually mental afflictions. First, this 6 mental afflictions, we talk about the attachment. And the attachment is here, we're talking it's negative emotion or disturbing emotion. But it's difficult to understand it because it's very tricky, because attachment brings you a lot of joys and happiness too, right? So, and then why it's saying here negative and the afflictive emotion or disturbing emotion. So attachment is, yes, of course, it brings you some kind of joys, but it's as you attach it or as you are clinging on anything, it causes you to make the difficult to separating from it. That's the the functioning of attachment, right? And so one general things let you know that when we defined all this mental afflictions, we should know 3 things. When we give definition, it's the 3 things is always included in definitions. So the first one is the object of observations, where you're observing and then how it's reacted, right? Object of observations. And then second is the aspect of the thoughts. It means like how you're thinking it. And then third is how it's functioning or how it's influencing or affecting. These three always included in the definition of mental afflictions. Let's see now, we look at now as we're now talking about the attachment, what is the observation object of attachment? So I will read here. Such a mental factor motivated by that aim of attaining highest possible worldly happiness, which appear attractive, arises when one perceive objects such as physical body, food, clothing, jewelry, and similar things that desirable. So this is the object of observation. Object of observation, the person, place, and things. The things here describes your food and your body or attractive. The person is also the object of sometimes you're observing on a person and then arises clinging or desire. Sometimes you observe in things, and then things could be many different things, right? So you're clinging or arises some kind of desirable, and sometimes you are observing in the places and then same having. So those are the or generally say any pleasure object in this world are the object of desirable object of attachment. So we are observing or focusing on one of those, then having attachment. So therefore, let me repeat it one more time. So all the pleasure object in this world which exists are the object of observation of desire, attachment. This is clear? So as a pleasure object, okay, I'm not saying unpleasure object. It's all the pleasure object is the observation object of the desire, and the aspect or how you think when you look at focus on an object, like say attracted, and then when you immediately the desires comes, the desires beginning from liking, and then you attach it. Once you attach it, then it causes you to have cannot be separated from it. So at the moment, the mind is kind of like a we talk about the attach it or clinging it. So at the moment, mind having those kind of things. So can you differentiate it? The mind at the moment when you're clinging on something else, it is different than your normal mind. You're different than your normal thoughts. It's not your natural thoughts. It's something change your thoughts, and it's the aspect that clinging or attaching it, right? So once we know that, it's like very specifically, then it makes us easy to change it or makes us able to change it or recognizing it or can be differentiated from different thoughts or different mind. So therefore it's very important to focus on the definition of the mental afflictions ija, right? Look at it very careful. So this is the aspect of the mind, and what is influencing or affecting is like brings you all the different type of suffering. This is how we affect it. So giving here example attachment, say the white pepper, clean the white pepper. If you pour your handful dust on the white pepper, can we clean it? We can, the dust just outside like a sand or dust, pour in white pepper, we can clean it easy. We can clean easily, right? For here, the one oil drop on that white pepper, then how is attached? It's different than dust. And it's not the attached, it's split it, right? It goes more bigger and bigger. One drop the oil on a pepper, and then it's kind of like a splitting, isn't it? Like it's bigger, bigger. That's the exactly attachment functioning it. And then either you have to burn it or you have to tear it, throw it. Cannot be used again. This is like an oily split it, and then you cannot separate oil from that pepper, right? So even you wash it, you cannot do it. So, but the dust, of course, we can clean it and then you can use it again. But the oil not. So this is how we attach it. At the way beginning, immediately see something attractive, and then the mind immediately kind of like a desire and like it. And then liking is now it's like a splitting that oil and the pepper, turning into the wanting. And then that's that much splitted that don't want to be separated from it. When it's separating, then suffering. This is at the way beginning, we will not know. It's kind of, when you see this, it's kind of pleasure feeling comes, right? You like it, you have like a clinging on it, some kind of pleasure there, and then you want it, or then after that you want it, being together, it's also another pleasure there, but the oil is that much splitting now. When times comes separating, either ending life or some different conditions makes you separate, that's the suffering. So that's the affected by the attachment. There are none other cause and condition there. Anything you have a problem or suffering from that being separated from other anything, it is only the caused by desire or attachment, none other cause and condition. So we should know clear that suffering comes from it. At the very beginning, if you do not have that much desire, even you see that like a kind of like attractive, beautiful, handsome, but your mind kind of like not really clinging on it, not really wanting it. It's beautiful, right? But not really wanting it. Just stop there at the moment. Then it's kind of like you are stopping to attachment to that person, right? Once you stop the attachment at the moment, way beginning, it never affects you have any suffering that being separated from that person, right? So our nature is, one thing we do not know how to stop it, and another things we do not know. It is kind of like a negative emotions, right? It's because it's bringing us some pleasure at the moment, and then sometimes we don't want to do that because it's pleasures coming. I don't want to be stopped to have attachment, right? I don't want, because it's pleasuring. I'm feeling pleasure right now, because I don't want to disturb my pleasure to having attached to these things, right? And then that don't want will cause you have a lot of suffering in the future. What do you think about that? It's very tricky. Attachment is very tricky, very, very tricky. So when we explain it, people will surprise and people will not accepting it, and not really wants to hear that again, right? So again, I share a few time this example. One time I lead the meditation a long time ago. Today's chapel is leading the meditation. It's a very long time ago. I'm leading the Wednesday meditations, and one mother came here, and then we meditate, and the final question answer sections. She asked me, can I have attached to my children's? Then my answer, no, right? My answer was no. And then since then she never come back. So she should be more curious. Why not, right? She should ask, why not? And then how can we love my children? How can take care of my children if I not have attachment? So there are definitely different method and different way there. You can better love, share love to children without attachment. You can better take care of your children without attachment. But she never heard that because she did not ask question again, and then she left. She left means like she never come back. So this kind of example, see, people don't want to hear it and don't want to investigate on it, don't want to examine on it. At least examining on it will be help, because that's how we need to prepare. So all the point we try to calm our mind and free from any kind of suffering, right? So if so, then we should find it out that what really the cause of the suffering. And then now you're hearing a total new idea saying attachment is the cause of the suffering. Instead of ignoring it, neglecting it, at least examining it before you take any decision, right? At least examining on it, or contemplating on it. Then if you see through by your own mind, then you are it makes you better for you, and then because it makes you to think it again and want to hear it again, right? So if just immediately neglecting it, because it's very unusual talk, it's a very unusual topic, saying attachment is the cause of suffering, and as it's unusual, never hear it, and then it's a totally bullshit, right? So then you are neglecting it. Then when sufferings comes, when you're being separating from anything, right? When you're losing is also separating, isn't it? So when you lose someone else in your life, then see how much suffering at the moment, because you're neglecting to knowing that actually one of the cause of the suffering. So therefore, take this as example, the oil drop in a pepper, how it's affected the pepper that much, ruining our life. Same way to ruining our life by attachment. Any thoughts or further discussion you want me to talk about attachment? Right?
How do you have better attachment without, or how do you have better love for someone without attachment? Because that's a question I get a lot too. When I say like, oh, you shouldn't be attached, and they're like, but I love my dog. What should I do? And then I try to give some answer, but what would?
Yeah. So take your dog as example, right? So right now you like it, right? There's desire. So because you're looking the dog as a beautiful. Now change the aspect. You look at the dog is the one of the beings who needs my help. Or that dog is also impermanence. Will be loose, will be separate from me, definitely, they're 100% sure. Whatever we like, always being separate from us. So dog will be separate from me, think more impermanence, and then change your perspective to look at dog instead of like say the beautiful, or look at the one beings we need help who has suffering. So then you can slowly separate it from attachment, and then makes you careful. So usually I'm giving example that saying the medicine, which is like the bitter medicine, right? Which you really have to take it for your health issue. But do we have attached to the bitter medicine? But we really want to take that, right? But attach on different things, attach on my life, attach on my health. So that makes you eat that bitter medicine, but we do not have attach it, but we taking it, but still that wanting and liking mind there without associate with any attachment, because it's bitter. Of course, there are no attachment. So and then we're taking it. So this is the one example that I found. So wanting it, but no attachment, right? So, but when you lose that bitter medicine, you will not worry about the bitter medicine. You will worry about your health, right? So that's kind of things. Yeah. Let's say another example. The parent and children's and teacher and students. So look at their different perspective way to look at the kids, right? When parents look at their children's, what their perspective? More associating with the desire or attachment, because it's my children, I love it. But in a class, when teacher look at the same kids, do not thinking it's my children. Therefore, they might not have a attachment at the moment. They're thinking, oh, this is my responsibility to bringing them more knowledge. So you see the different perspective at the moment. The teacher between kids, same kids, with the parents and with the teacher. The teacher and parents has a different perspective. So therefore, when the students lose it, the parent will have a lot of suffering. The kids, when the kids lose, the parent will have a lot of suffering, but teacher is not. Will not have that much. It will bring some sad as a human being. So, but not brings you a lot of suffering to losing it. So that's also you can take example to without attachment. And some teachers not attached but love to teach them or love to bringing them some kind of knowledge, right? Is part of the like a compassionately to taking care of the kids. It's only the compassion is the makes a relationship between the student and teacher, right? Not the desire and any attachment. So therefore, your mind more focus will be how can make them better knowledgeable. That's you're focusing. But the parents, there are many differences, right? So you can take this as example, but I want you to encourage that contemplating this kind of example to find it out like a really aspect of the emotions, because we cannot share by word exactly the feeling, right? When you look at that way, and then you will feel it. That's better than word. The experience is better than words. Therefore, like a contemplating between which I brings example one kids, the different perspective from parents and teacher, right? That's the ONCs. So yeah. So therefore, it's separating that taking care to others from desire. It's difficulty. So, but therefore, in order to separating for that, we must know how desire or attachment functioning it, how attachment having kind of like a aspect or perspective at the moment. Once my mind associating with the attachment and what I'm thinking right at the moment. This is to find it out, right? Sometimes you can contemplating on attachment, say, okay, whenever comes that attach, let's say at the beginning part, when you walk in the street, you see some other persons very attractive. Then immediately check your mind at the moment. How thinking now, right? So this is the best time to find it out, the attachment. Like that, right? So, and then it's as you have found it, like how you thinking at the moment, how you feeling at the moment, and then as you recognize is you are more attaching on this, then change it immediately, then see what's happening, right? Because it's at the beginning part, you can change it. Definitely 100% you can change it. So because it's just not dropped yet here, so in a paper, right? So when after drop, then it's gone. Then paper is ruined. So not drop yet, it's just beginning it. Therefore, definitely we have an apple to change this. So you change it at the beginning. You see the different feeling. You have a different feeling, and then after change it, you might have a different feeling, and then see what is different different to two different feelings. So that's how we need to recognize or identify the attachment. Right? Does it help?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Geshe, I have a question. Does attachment is always a bad thing, right? Attachment.
Yes, I can say yes.
How does it relate? For instance, like I feel like I'm attached to this place. I'm attached to the Sunday lessons, and I'm attached to all of the knowledge and wisdom that you guys teach me. How does that relate to attachment? Is this real attachment, or is it not?
It could be attachment. It could be attachment. But I will say that the mind wanting and liking is always not necessarily associated with attachment. Your aspiration, right? Aspiration that I have aspiration to study more. I want like to hear more about that. It's not necessarily attachment, but it causes you to make difficult with separating. Then it should be attached, right? So therefore, your motivation when you come here. So what I can learn here, right? That's all you need to focus on it. So instead of saying, "Oh, this is beautiful," or I would like a peaceful, or so on, so on. So all that you are describing the peaceful and beautiful, your thoughts that aspiration changing, associating with attachment, because the reason peaceful and beautiful. The reason that it's helping me to change it myself, to hear those words. So then will be not attaching it, not associated with the attachment, right? So therefore, it's also depend on how you think the reason to coming here and then staying here, or like hearing those, right? So not say, oh, it's peaceful. The peaceful is kind of like brings you. It's similar as attractive, right? Peaceful reason is kind of like expectations. The expectations then is associated with the attachment because of the peaceful, right? So don't look at only peaceful. To look at there, it's a lot of helping me in a daily life to change myself. That's kind of things. But I cannot say exactly determining this differentiated, but this kind of things, it definitely could be attachment, right? So therefore say, shouldn't attach on religious, shouldn't attach on teacher, shouldn't attach on a place, shouldn't attach on like the pleasure words, but utilize it, use it, right? So we are fighting based on religious because you attach on religion now. You're attaching on your own things, right? So once we attach it, then every causes brings you suffering. Doesn't matter beautiful word, or the pleasure, or the place is nice, or teacher is good, whatever. it brings you suffering. But if you do not have any suffering, any attachment, then you will receive exactly what you wanted, and same time not brings you any kind of a condition of the cause, right? This kind of things, yeah. So if you've,
So now my question. So I said, how about in relationships or with love? How does attachment work in those situations?
Yeah, so relationship is 100% attachment so far. Our relationship is regarding the relationship. I don't know, which I give you example like between teacher and student, and then the student, the kids and teacher, and kids and parents. Both has a relationship, right? The teacher and kids has a hey, good morning relationship, and then also the parents and so the between parents and children's the kids relationship definitely attachment. So and then whatever the relationship is comes by attachment, and then that relationship maybe not long lasting. Majority in general, yes. So most of them is not long lasting, is separating it. Because attachment always having some kind of expectation too, right? So because you went to a good nice restaurant and the food is delicious, now you have attached to come back again. Next, I will like have exactly same delicious food. Expectations. Attachment brings you kind of like expectations, and the expectations also is very bad to making better relationship. Its expectation is always ruining the relationship, right? So the two partner each do have their own expectations. And expectation means that I want you to do this what I like it. This kind of things, right? So if not happening, then what happening? Between relationship, you have some kind of expectation with your partner. Then when it's not happening, then what happened? You get mad, right? And then arguments, fightings, divorce, all this comes. So because of attachment, brings you expectation, and expectations kind of like happening, these kind of things. So therefore, attachment is totally kind of like I can say is a blunt. Attachment is blunt. So once you have a strong attachment, you will not see anything, right? So I can take example again, the parents and children's. The parents are sacrificing for children to support. For example, say even your children did something bad. You don't accept it. It is bad. And someone is saying your children did bad. Like the complaints comes from school, say, oh, your children is not really good. The parents immediately get angry. Why? Instead of accepting it, instead of investigating it, really did or not, or really bad or not, right? So immediately have anger because of attachment. So then you might be argument, you might be fight with the teacher. Why are you telling that my children is bad? So it's totally blunt. You do not see reality, and then you are losing all your reputations. And that person, teacher might see, oh yeah, that's the parent is really shame, what called no shame, right? It's like a lack of having shame because supporting to bad things and arguing to us. You see, kind of once you do not have a children, then you will have some kind of shame on many situations or many circumstances or many things, right? But once you have children, as supporting the children, you having lack of shames, no concerning others. All is bad. No concerning other, lack of having shame, and then because of attachment to your children, right? I see that many parents immediately get mad when they hear, say, your children did something bad, right? So my niece, last weekend she came. She has not twins, right? So I give advice for both. Okay, in the future, you might have these kind of things when someone saying your children's bad. Try not have anger. Think and watch it. Investigate it. It is bad. Accept it. Then try to educate the children. If it is not bad, then you can do whatever you like. Otherwise, you will not see any bad things to your children. Everything is beautiful, right? The physical is beautiful, behavior is beautiful, and thoughts are beautiful. It's impossible. But our attachment diluted us to see these things. Everything is beautiful. Actually, it's out of the reality, right? It is impossible. It's impossible. Everything's here. Every human beings, their behaviors or thoughts, definitely having some kind of negative. It's common. It's our nature. It's common. No surprise things. But when you have an attachment, you do not see these kind of things, right? So therefore. It's kind of fun, but I can share this example. Let's say at the very beginning, you are falling in love, someone, both are strong, falling in love, and yearning each other or slapping, it's beautiful. If not slap, then say, you don't love me, right? So slap, oh yeah, I'm so happy that you loved me. But after 1 year, slap is suffering. At the very beginning moment, they do not feel that slap is suffering. My pronounce is right? The slap, right? So slap is suffering. So never feel it because of the attachment to deluded you to see, okay, it's beautiful. But when you satisfy with that person, to see through by many behavior, or then after you change, after years or 2 years, same person will give you same hand, same slap, then you get mad. Why is change that? At the beginning moment, you feel so good. After 1 year, you get angry. Same slap. Why is it? Because of attachment, no attachment. See, attachment is that much ruining relationship and everything. What do you think?
Mr. La, Melissa online has a question. How about in relationships or with love? How does attachment work in those situations?
Yeah, Angela, I just read that question.
Oh, okay.
She was just saying that, I think she didn't hear me read her question.
I see, okay. Read it again. Or
No.
Read for me again.
Yeah, it says, how about in relationships or with love? How does attachment work in those situations? And then she answered, the person who asked it, he answered, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, this I try to explain how attachment is ruining in our relationship, right? So, and then, this is very important here. But my experience within 20 years here, many of here are having suffering by the relationship. So therefore, it's very important to know that how to make better relationship, right? So, but I can say that attachment is not makes you a better relationship. And instead of make better relationship, it's ruining your relationship. Okay, so I will take that statement. You think now. Any you found it any different reason or different thoughts, please bring, and then we can further discussion on it, right? So I could be wrong, you could be wrong, never know. So right, so therefore, so far this is my statement, and then keep it in mind and think, and then investigate in your daily life, examining in your daily life. This is very important. This is the topic here, is a careful, right? Conscientious. So therefore, every step, every action, the verbal actions or physical actions, at the moment, important to have carefulness, important to have conscientiousness. Then you will exactly act how much you have to act. You will not overact. You will never overact. You will not will not talk overly, because always the carefulness is within you in the moment, right? So therefore, it's kind of like annoying at the beginning parts, makes us very tired. It's same happening with me. When I was in India, they're not really, we don't have to really think when we talk with our friends. Anything comes in mouth, we can say it. They're no angry each other. Blaming each other, criticizing each other, and then, anything said, understand it each other. So, and that's my habit I grow up, right? After I come here, it's definitely not worked here, these things. It's not worked, right? So I have to really careful to think before I say it. Even it's true, I have to shift the words. I have to think, say or not say it. At the beginning, it felt very much annoying to me, right? I'm tired. It was 2010. I became a disciplinary master in a monastery. There were 4,000 monks there, more than 4,000 monks there. And after I came back here, and someone asked, "How's goes your discipline master job?" Then I say, okay, taking care of 1,000 people there and taking care of 10 people here is equal. This kind of comes in my mind. I said it because very much annoying me to think loud before I said it, right? So, and then even I have an experience. One of my friend said to we had a Rinpoche's class at the time, and then many people attending. One lady came, and then one of my parents said, "Today you are beautiful." So his motivation is complimenting. She got mad because the word today, not yesterday. Right? So the word today makes her anger. Forget about the beautiful things. Today you are beautiful. So that much we have to careful think. So, and then keep thinking, and then right now I don't have any problem. Nothing annoying. It's kind of like becoming my kind of habit to think and say it, right? So therefore, when we training these kind of things, having conscientiousness at the moment, whatever your actions applies, it will annoy to you. It kind of like makes you difficulty, right? But the few years later, it trains your habit, then no more difficulty. And then you have a very good quality which you can apply effortlessly, right? So this is really good things, but just not give up as annoying and makes you difficult. Of course, if you want to do something good, always difficult, right? So give you an example, when car runs up, we need a lot of like pushing the gear and change a lot of oil, right? And then sound is strong. When you go down, no need of gasoline, right? Not that difficult. Same way, any good quality, we have to build it up in our daily life. Always found the difficulty at the first moment, at the beginning parts, because we try to get a new experience, which we never had it, right? And then what we have naturally, all this bringing us down, not up, right? So therefore, that makes you difficult at the moment if you really want to change better in order to having more peace in our life. Then hardships always necessary at the beginning part. But that hardships, hard works is not always remaining as hard works. Once you get familiarizations, once you turn into your habit, no need hard work. It takes few years, could be the few years, it could be the few months. It's depend on how you think it, right? So therefore, not give up as a hard work. So go back now. So at every moment, so think as like having conscientiousness at the moment. Any actions would have a good things. But sometimes too much exciting, we forgetting it then. Like say, so the exciting say, you see your friends after a long time, at the moment, you have surprise. You're expressing all your emotion. At the moment, no conscientiousness there. Only the emotions comes and it's overtaken. Emotion overtaken all the places of the thoughts, and then say you're expressing everything. But could be you might do something like a mistake at the moment. But even that much exciting needed conscientiousness at the moment. But it's difficult, right? It's difficult because when emotion expressing, you're not having. So if conscientiousness needed that much in that moment, then of course we need it in our daily life, right? Okay. So this is the part of the attachment. Now you are clear with the definition of attachment. What are the observation object? What at the aspect of the thought at the moment? What influences? Right? You're clear with it? Okay. So now move to next, anger. The anger is also one of the root mental afflictions, right? And long time ago, I'm making differentiated between anger and hatred. But recently I learned that saying, when we look at the English word, the hatred is kind of defining different things. It's not exactly defining what is the definition of the anger, right? So, and then many scholars also use anger instead of hatred. So I'm still learning on this. I do not know, but so far I will use anger as a word. The anger, again, same anger. When we look at the anger, definition will be the say like the observation object, and then the aspect, and then influences or affections, right? So the anger observation object could be the person, right? And your own suffering, and also cause that having your own, the cause and condition, or things that which you have suffering. So those three are the observation object. When you observe, once you have anger, either you are observing on a person, or you're observing on your own anger, on your own suffering, or you're observing on the cause of suffering. Like it could be the once you walk, you hit the door is the cause to bring you suffering. You have anger with the suffering and door both, right? So, and then once you walk, and then like the thorns, like goes in you step on the thorns, and then you like have the painful, then immediately you have anger. So because of the pain and the thorn both, you have anger, the pain, that suffering, and you might have anger to both thorn, right? So therefore these are the observation object, anger, right? And the aspect thoughts at the moment kind of like having some kind of harmful thoughts. You want to harm back. You want to harm. That kind of things. Either you want to hit, kill, whatever harm, like harmful activities that you want to do at the moment. That's the anger, the thoughts of anger. So again, are you clear with the thoughts of anger at the moment? You really want to harm. Doesn't matter what is the whatever the observation object, right? Sometimes say you hit the door and you get mad, you hit again door, right? So that's the anger. And then door will never notice that you get anger or it's painful, right? But see, this is our natural behaviors. Sorry, I will not say it's natural behavior. This is the natural behaviors of when you have anger. This is the action of anger. It's not our natural behavior. So it's the action of anger.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Here in sort of Western psychology, as I learned it, they tend to make a connection between anger and real or perceived injustice. Like anger is a reaction that people have when they feel something is not fair.
Uh-huh.
So it's somehow connected with unfairness.
Understand, yeah.
I don't know if that's different in Buddhism or not.
Whatever circumstances and situation, regarding Buddhists, we say anger is always bad. Shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have it. So, and then it said it, and also we can think, say, if we have anger at that you describe, and then what really you gain? That's what we have to think. Mm-hmm. What I gain, right? So it's exactly I gain what I wanted. That's what we have to think, right? So, and then many of them thinking anger is necessary to need it in our daily life for protect our life. So really anger protecting our life, that's we have to think again. And yeah.
Could I guess anger be used in like a competitive aspect? Could it be beneficial?
What kind of beneficial?
Say like in the workplace, or say like sports, for example.
Yeah, sport.
Could be used as like almost an edge, or is that almost a depleting feeling?
You mean talking about the sport playing? Oh, okay. Oh, the anger makes you better win?
Like, is that a beneficial aspect or no?
No. So let's say,
Like that?
I will give you an example here.
Some
Some
people.
coaches do, right?
I'll give you an example here. In our monastery, we are playing the carom board. This looks like the pool, you know. There are 4 holes, and then carom boards they call. I'm good with it. So, and then when one of my friends, right, his name is Ngawang, and when he close to lose, he caused me to have anger. He knows the trick. When I have anger, then even the like a stick near the hole is not goes in there. You know, angers change everything. So therefore, we see like I like to watch sometime soccer play, and then we see that when people have anger, they lose all this their attitude, and then they lose their talents too. They have talents to the hits on a goal, but when they have anger, they lose their talents. Yeah, I saw that kind of things. So yeah, definitely, it's not help. It's never, instead of winning, it makes you lose at the moment anger.
There was this, sorry, there was this Japanese swordsman, and to win duels, he would each time make his opponents angry. He would come late on purpose, and being late would make his opponent angry because he would feel disrespected, and this is how he would make his opponents lose. Because they would lose the concentration. He would come late to make his duel partner angry.
Yeah, it is. So please go ahead.
So some initial anger is likely to arise in certain situations.
Yes.
That's rather natural for anger to arise. Is it an aim to prevent that initial anger even from arising, or is a wise aim to be conscious that anger is arising, and what then is the best thing to do? Because the anger is signaling and telling us useful information, something that's not right here. That's my question, I guess, is that in the long term, would it be an aim for that initial anger not even to arise?
Yeah, it is not to arise. So yeah, but very difficult for us train or difficult for us stop anger when it arises. So let's say we arising anger because anger is innately there. Look at back that the young child, and then no one teach them how to be anger, but they shows anger, right? So these kind of things still I'm not using the natural word. It's not our nature, but innately there with the bone. All these negative emotions are innately there. The anger and the attachment and so on. And therefore, many people think this is our nature. We cannot change it. But knowing it's not the nature, then it's good, helpful to know that you can change it. So it's innately there, but I can change it. So whatever innately there, like anger, is not helpful with anything. So, it's kind of like it makes you satisfied at the moment when anger arises. The satisfaction, same time, at the moment you are unhappy. But we are not noticing I'm unhappy, but just noticing that I'm satisfied now. Having anger, I'm just satisfied. I'm right to have anger, now having it, very good. So I'm satisfying with it, but we need to think again, because at the moment when your anger arises, definitely the unhappy mind there, the unpleasure mind. The mind is not happy. So when mind is not happy, then why should have anger? Doesn't matter what is circumstances and what is right and wrong, but having anger is the bad, because it's caused me suffering. That's all the reason. It's not caused them suffering. It's caused me suffering. But I really want to cause them suffering, therefore I'm having anger. But in reality, I'm having suffering instead of having them suffering, isn't it? Because, so you feel it, right? Anger, you feel it, none of them. So whenever the anger is remaining within your continuum of mind, until it's gone, until it calms, always unhappy. Mind is unhappy, definitely unhappy. Yeah, it's unhappy mind is part of the suffering. So that means you feel suffering to having anger on right things. Even it's right, then why should have anger? Because it's kind of like bring me suffering. But is there any other way I can fight back instead of anger, right? So that's what we need to find it out. Because anger is not a good way to fight back. Anger is not a good way to take revenge. It's not really taking revenge, right? Anger is causing you suffering, but others are happy. They're no problem, right? So therefore, yeah, I share one time in one of our class. It's been a long time ago. I went to New York, and then I have the few friends that I met. The first friends in his room, he really get mad and anger. So it's kind of like hands shaking. And then I asked the question, the reason why. Then he mentioned that person name, one of my other friends. He mentioned that person names. He did something bad to me. And then after hours, I went outside and then some kind of gathering there. And then I see that person who has caused them have a problem. He's enjoying and dancing there. See, now who is really lose them? Right? So one of my friends is having like anger with the suffering in just staying in a room. Who caused them have anger is dancing outside. This is not really a good way to take revenge because they're enjoying it, but I'm suffering it. So therefore, never say, I'm right to have anger. So it's equivalent you saying, I'm right to have suffering. Instead of saying, I'm right to have anger, means I'm right to have suffering. Exactly the same thing. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we will never say, I'm right to have suffering, right? We'll never say that. But we constantly say, I'm right to have anger. But what's different between these two? Others are enjoying it, you are suffering, then what is really right? Why is right? Right? It's not right. But you can fight back. That's worth to do it. You can go courts, you can go ask the police station, all these things you can do it without anger. Right? That's the better way to take revenge. So, therefore, we shouldn't think, never think that I'm right to have anger. And then if something thoughts comes in your mind, immediately you think, okay, it's saying I'm right to have suffering, but only I feel suffering, none of them. Then why it's right? It's wrong now. It's wrong. Having anger is absolutely wrong because it's make me feel suffering. It is wrong, which I do not expect it or I don't want it, right? So these kind of things. But it's like a kind of like a suppressing or subduing anger. Again, is challenge because the anger is being our habit since children's. We never try to stop it. And instead of stop it, we think it's right to have it. And that's that much our lives grows now. Now you think again back, different idea says it's wrong to have it, not right to have it. Then think it again. If you find it out it is, then it's kind of a challenge to change it, but it's doable. It's a possible, can change it. So you can reduce way less the anger, yeah.
How do we change it? What's the process changing it?
Well, I can say,
It's anger.
yes, like analytical meditation. you did analytical meditation on anger, that anger increases. Now you have to do analytical meditation on a patient, then reduce your
Analytical meditation on what?
patient.
Patience?
The patient?
Patience.
Yeah,
Patience.
forbearance.
Forbearance.
Forbearance, yeah. So,
Analytical meditation and forbearance will decrease anger.
yeah, then forbearance will be increases. So far, we are analytical meditation on anger. And it's good to know because it brings you idea how I can do analytical meditation on forbearance. So let's think how we do analytical meditation with anger. And then say someone blamed you in front of you, right? Then what you thinking at the moment? You might have many different thoughts. Why criticize to me? They do not have a right to say that, right? And I'm not that person how they said it. All the reason increasing your anger actually. It's kind of like you're pouring gasoline on your anger. Every time you think reason how they blame to me, all goes to increase your anger. That's the analytical meditation, right? So if you think more, that anger like turning into the resentment, right? So you just burn it. And then you think more reason why they did it. They are not right to do it. I'm not that person. And you are thinking also all this, your future and so on and so on. Any reason you think it, then slowly that strong burning anger sticked it in your mind will remaining continuously, right? So sometimes we have anger at the moment and after 1 hour it's gone. Or after 5 minutes, it's gone, right? But if you continue to think the reason, it never gone. Tomorrow, you will feel it. Because the thinking reasons makes your habit and it's stuck in your mind, it brings you again and again. How much you think more, that brings their memory reflect you easily. So how much you are reflecting that reasoning, what you thought, think loud in yesterday, then again, your angers come back again. And then third day, you think the same reason, your angers come back again. That's how you increases and it's started now. Your angers remaining longer, not just hour, it's day by day and month. If your angers remaining longer, that turns into the resentment. Once you turn into the resentment, you really, really want to take revenge then. You cannot let it go. You cannot let it go because your anger increases way up to the resentment. First is a moment, strong burn it, and then you think more reason and turn into the stay in your mind, and then you think more reason and turn into resentment, and then really you want to take revenge. That's kind of that much increases. See the reason, thinking reason increases your anger, right? So you have anger, but you do not think any reason, just it's okay, let it go. That will not happening tomorrow. So tomorrow you will be the same person what we are, right? So not that same anger will not arise again because you stop to think reason. Same way, if you think more reason to have forbearance, that help you to decrease the anger. And if you cannot forgive at the moment right now, but if you think more reason, then your patience grows, increases, then you can easily forgive them, right? So you can stop anger before it comes, before it's manifested. So, but look at back our habit, more absorbing our habit that anger arises constantly and strongly. This is our habit. And then for challenging and changing this might take a time. So therefore, shouldn't be frustrated to once you are practicing to change it, being patient. Okay, of course, that anger is strong. I built it up since when I was young. Of course, it's difficult to reduce it, but still, I don't want to give it up. Continuous practice, patient practice. So, what is good time for doing the patient practice? Once you do not have any anger, once you have a happy mood, this is the perfect time for analytical meditation on patience. Otherwise, you know this whole idea now, how to stop anger, and anger is bad, and then patience good. You know this whole idea. Even you know this whole idea, when anger is strong manifested, you cannot use all this idea. You are not able to use this because anger is overcome by, like it strongly overcomes. Then even you know this is bad, but you cannot stop at the moment because it's our bad habit, right? So that's the way. The best time to think when you're happy mood, analytic and patience, right? And then 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 100 time you do analytic and meditation on patience, then you will reduce. You can reduce. There are no antibiotic, which is pain. There are no painkiller on anger. Just eat it and gone. Not that. It will take time, right? So this is different kind of like illness. So therefore, do not expect it that within months I can complete it. But you should have an encouragement, a belief I can do that, but don't expect it. So I can do that, and expecting is again 2 different things. Expecting makes you decreasing then, discouragement. Okay, within a month I can do that. Well, after a month not happening, then you will give up, discouraged, right? So I say, I will change it. It's possible. I can do it, but it takes time. But it's really depend on daily practice. Therefore, I have to do it every day once I'm happy mood. Then a few months later, definitely I can say change it. Yes.
Could you give a suggestion of how we could daily practice?
In patient?
Yeah.
Okay. It will come sometime in the future. The chapter, the same book, chapter 6. I encourage you to read the chapter 6. There are very beautiful reason and example there why I shouldn't have anger, right? And so read it, and then once times comes, we can expand more on it. Yeah. Basically, one idea, general idea for any training is thinking fault of what I have to abandon and benefit of, let's say, example, anger. So fault of having anger, if you think more, fault of having anger, that makes you change. And if you think more, benefit to have patience. So if you think more these 2, then will help you. If you have 100 list to fault of anger, I can say then you will have a disgusting to have anger. Then you never ever say the right to have anger. And then instead of that, your anger will way reduce it because you see the 100 list of the fault. And no one's need a fault, right? No one need a mistaken. So therefore, that's one way help. And then this is we can find it out the fault in our daily life, right? So once I have anger, we turn into the ugly. Very true, right? So again, go back to the soccer play. We call Ronaldinho.
Yes, that's one Brazilian song.
That's a beautiful. He's very patient, right? many people like, and his talents, many people likes him, but other someone there who's very talented for playing, but as they shows anger, people don't like that, because people sees more ugly, and people sees more beauty, right? So the beauty and ugly is not always depend on physical things. Your behavior can be in the physical. For example, if your physical is very ugly, but your inner beauty, people will see you are beauty. People will like to come to you, talk to you, be hang around you, and then just go with you, dining on so on and so on, right? So because you are inner beauty, but physically not beauty, but inner beauty. So that's let people see the beauty. But external, very beauty, but internal anger, jealousy, right? And demanding, complaint, competition, all this happening, within 10 days you will disgusting, right? Because you will not, the physical attractive is still remaining as same, but shows more their attitude with the negative. It's cause you change your perspective. Now you will see they be ugly, not beautiful, right? Because no more attached there because of their attitude. So you see the ugly. So therefore, ugly and beauty is not only physical active, right? It's inner too. So, and then long lasting. Inner beauty is long lasting. That's the always keep in mind, and then think those are how much you can think, it will help you. And then you read the Shantideva 6th chapter, okay? Yeah. Okay. So the part of the anger, still we'll talk more on it. So at the next time. So any question? People have any question? Online, did you have any question?
No.
Geshe, what are the 6 root? It's ignorance.
Oh, I see.
Attachment.
The first one is attachment.
Attachment.
And then we finish the anger, right? The attachment and anger. And then the pride. And we call ignorance, yeah. And then afflictive doubt and wrong view, yeah. So any doubt is not part of the mental afflictions, but there are some doubt. It's mental afflictions, like a doubt on the positive things, doubt on right things, doubt on reality. So this kind of thing, that doubt is disturb you to see the reality. So therefore, it's part of the mental afflictions. Yeah, that's the 6.
Yeah,
we will cover next time. Yeah.
I forgot wrong view. So
Wrong view. Okay.
It's like I need to know. It's
Yeah.
the 6th one.
Okay. Okay. Any question? Okay. So think it. Okay. Don't accept it or don't apply on practice right now. Think it. Once you found it's good, then apply it. Right? So, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Have a good day then. Have a good day. Yeah.